My beloved soul, heaven is whispering to you today, for there is something sacred about the way love has entered your life, something that doesn't follow the logic of this world, something only heaven could orchestrate. You have met a soul who feels younger, perhaps by years, perhaps by spirit, and yet there is a divine reason why God chose them to walk into your path. This is not an accident, not a fleeting moment of affection, but a celestial lesson clothed in human form. The angels say, this connection was written long before your birth, in the scrolls of heaven, where love stories are designed not by time, but by divine purpose. You were never meant to meet the same kind of love the world talks about. Yours had to be a love that transforms, that humbles, that teaches your soul how to see with heaven's eyes. Sometimes the younger soul arrives to awaken what the older heart has forgotten, to teach laughter again, to bring back color where silence had settled, to remind you that love is not measured by age, but by purity. And though the world may look at this connection with confusion, heaven looks at it with joy. Because heaven does not count years, heaven counts hearts. Heaven counts truth. Heaven counts the moments when two souls recognize each other in ways that cannot be explained, only felt. The angels are saying to you now, my child, you have prayed for love that is true, and we have sent you a soul who mirrors what is divine in you, this person's innocence, their faith, their openness. These are not signs of immaturity, but reflections of heaven's nature through a tender vessel. You may have questioned why they came into your life, why they seem to see you more deeply than others ever have, why their presence awakens both joy and fear inside you, the fear of vulnerability, the fear of being seen without walls. But this, beloved, is where God's teaching begins, for love that comes from heaven does not arrive to make you comfortable. It arrives to make you whole. It does not come to flatter your pride, but to melt it, to bring you to a place of humility, where you can finally love and be loved without pretending. The angels say, this younger soul carries light for you. They were sent not because you were incomplete, but because heaven knew you were ready to love in a new way, a purer way, a softer way. As it is written, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Matthew 18:3 NIV. Do you see, my dear one? God is using this connection to bring you back to that childlike purity, to a love that trusts without fear, that believes without question, that forgives without calculation. This is not a love to analyze, it is a love to receive, a divine mirror that shows you how much you've grown, and how much God still wants to teach you through tenderness. Sometimes heaven sends someone younger because their soul still carries the melody of simplicity. And you, burdened by years, by responsibilities, by pain, need to hear that melody again. Their laughter reminds your heart how to breathe again. Their curiosity pulls you out of the places you've hidden. Their faith helps you believe that love can still be innocent. Do not mistake this for coincidence. The angels are whispering, this was not random, this was appointed. For when two souls meet and one awakens something sacred in the other, heaven is near. When one teaches the other how to feel God again through gentleness, a divine assignment is unfolding. You may feel unworthy of their affection or uncertain about the future, but remember, God never sends what your spirit cannot handle. If this connection came with peace, even if your mind doubted, trust that it came with purpose. It is written, every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights. James 1:17 ESV. This love, though unconventional, is still a gift. But it must be treated with reverence, because heaven trusts you with something delicate. Do not rush it. Do not define it by the world's standards. Simply allow it to unfold the way God intends. Because through this connection, you are being refined, your patience is deepening, your compassion is awakening, your faith in divine timing is being restored. The angels say, you are learning that love is not always about possession. Sometimes it is about recognition, about seeing God's image reflected in another soul and bowing in gratitude. This younger soul may not have all the answers, but they carry the vibration of heaven's simplicity, and it is that very simplicity that will soften your guarded heart. They may teach you, without even trying, that love does not need to be perfect to be divine. It only needs to be pure. You will notice how their presence shifts the atmosphere when they enter the room. You will feel peace where once there was restlessness. You will hear laughter echoing in the quiet places of your soul. That is not illusion. That is divine resonance. God placed this soul near you to remind you that His ways are higher than yours. He knew that your heart, though mature and wise, needed a new rhythm, a rhythm of hope, of joy, of surrender. And so, heaven chose a younger vessel, not to confuse you, but to renew you, not to challenge your worth, but to awaken your softness again. The angels say, this love was not meant to make you question your value, but to help you rediscover it, because through their eyes, you will see yourself the way heaven sees you, still beautiful, still worthy, still chosen, still capable of being loved beyond your wounds. Even now, as you listen, your spirit is remembering something ancient, a promise made before this life began, that one day love would come not as you expected, but as you needed. This younger soul may be that promise fulfilled. They came to remind you that age does not measure readiness, only the heart does. And heaven knew that their heart would speak to yours in a language older than time, the language of divine love. So breathe, dear one. Let go of fear, and let this connection teach you what sermons could not. Let it teach you how to see beauty again, how to trust again, how to love as God loves, without judgment, without walls, without end. Because love that is sent by heaven never fades. It transforms everything it touches. And if this message has touched your heart, pause and thank God for the divine orchestration of your journey. If your spirit feels peace, it means heaven is confirming that this word is yours. Share this message with someone who needs comfort today, someone who is questioning a connection that feels strange yet sacred. Let them know God's plans are never random, and if you feel led to support, your kind offering helps these angelic messages continue reaching more souls in need of light. Rest now, beloved soul. Part 2 will continue this journey, where the angels will reveal how this divine connection is reshaping your destiny and preparing both hearts for something eternal. Beloved soul, as we continue this journey, the angels are saying, you are now standing at the threshold of revelation. The purpose behind this connection is unfolding, and heaven wants you to understand why this love feels different, why it both heals you and humbles you at the same time. This younger soul was sent not just to touch your heart, but to mirror the parts of you that long to be seen and loved without performance. In their presence, your spirit is learning what authenticity feels like again. They look at you without judgment, and in their gaze, you find rest. The angels whisper, do you see how God works? He takes two souls from different seasons of life and weaves them together to reveal His timeless truth. That love, when it is divine, transcends time. You have walked through valleys that tested your faith, relationships that taught you pain more than peace, seasons where your heart forgot how to open fully, and just when you thought you were done with the lessons of love, heaven smiled and said, now, my child, you are ready to love with wisdom and to be loved with innocence. That is why this connection feels like sunrise after a long night. The light may be gentle, but it pierces through every shadow that once covered your soul. Their laughter melts the weight you've been carrying. Their presence awakens the joy that time had silenced. This is not coincidence. This is restoration. The angels say God sent this younger soul as a divine restorer to bring healing where experience had hardened you, to reteach your heart the language of simplicity. You in return are teaching them depth, showing them how to anchor love in patience, commitment, and faith. Together, you form a divine exchange, one bringing lightness, the other bringing wisdom, and heaven smiling upon the union. It is written, two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. Ecclesiastes 4:9-10 NIV. This is the essence of what heaven designed between you, not a hierarchy but harmony. Not comparison but completion. For love is not about who leads and who follows. It is about who listens to the whisper of the Spirit between them. And right now, the Spirit of God is gently guiding both of you toward wholeness. He is teaching you to listen without fear, to speak truthfully without defense, to love without expecting perfection. You may have noticed how your emotions feel stronger around them, how your intuition heightens when you think of them, how prayer comes easily when their name crosses your heart. These are all signs that this connection lives not in the flesh, but in the Spirit. The angels say that this love was agreed upon before birth, a soul contract written in divine light. Before you came into this lifetime, you both promised to meet, to remind each other of who you are, and to bring each other closer to God through love. So do not fear what feels different. Do not let the opinions of others shake what heaven has confirmed in your heart. People may not understand, but angels do. For they see the cords of light that tie your souls together. They see the divine fingerprints upon this story. God's ways are mysterious, but they are always purposeful. He chooses vessels that seem unlikely to the world, so that His glory can shine through what others might overlook. As it is written, God chose the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. 1 Corinthians 1:27 KJV. This love may not fit into earthly categories, but it fits perfectly in heaven's design. Beloved, heaven wants you to release control. Let go of the urge to define, to predict, to force outcomes. Love that is divine unfolds naturally. It moves with grace. It breathes with patience. It trusts in timing more than desire. The angels are saying, do not rush what God is nurturing. Like a rose opening in the morning sun, this connection will reveal its beauty in divine time. Not when you push, but when you surrender. You are being invited into a season of faith. Faith that God knows what He's doing. Faith that the bond between you is protected from harm. Faith that love can be pure even when it's new, and sacred even when it's unconventional. This younger soul has been placed in your path not only to awaken your heart, but to test your trust in divine order. They are a reflection of God's grace, young, open, though full of light, reminding you that the soul's age matters more than the body's. They are teaching you how to forgive your past, how to let go of the weight of failed loves, how to see yourself as lovable again. And in return, you are teaching them how to love with maturity, how to ground their feelings in faith, how to walk in love that endures storms. This divine partnership is sacred because both are growing together. Both are being transformed. Both are being refined into the likeness of Christ, who loved without condition, who gave without fear, who forgave without limit. It is written, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking. 1 Corinthians 13:4-5 NIV. This scripture lives inside your connection because what you are experiencing is not infatuation, but a glimpse of divine love taking form in human hearts. The angels say this love is a classroom of grace. Every moment spent with them is a lesson. Every word, every silence, every tear. And the greatest test is not whether you can keep them, but whether you can love them in alignment with heaven's will. For sometimes, heaven sends a younger soul not to stay forever, but to awaken something eternal inside you, to show you what unconditional love feels like, so you can share that vibration with the world. And sometimes heaven allows them to stay, so that together you can build something that glorifies God. Either way, nothing is lost. Because love, once divine, never leaves you the same. It shifts your spiritual DNA. It makes you gentler. It softens your view of others. It teaches you how to see the divine spark in every soul you meet. That, beloved, is what heaven wanted for you. To be transformed by love, not broken by it. To be expanded, not diminished. To become more like Christ, not through sermons, but through the living experience of love. And as you reflect on this message, the angels surround you now, their wings brushing your heart, their voices whispering peace. You are safe in God's plan. What is meant for you will not be taken from you. They ask you to continue trusting, to continue praying, to continue letting God write the story at His pace. For the same God who sent this soul into your life is also guiding every step of your connection. If this word has brought you comfort, pause and lift your heart to heaven in gratitude. Thank God for sending you someone who helped you feel again, who reminded you that love still exists in its purest form. And if your spirit feels led, share this message with another soul who may be questioning why love feels so different this time. They, too, may be walking through a divine appointment. Your kind support, your prayer, your encouragement, your super thanks helps these angelic messages continue to flow, so more hearts can remember that God is still the author of love. Rest your heart now, beloved soul. For in part 3, the angels will reveal how this connection is not just changing you, but preparing you both for your divine destiny together, where love becomes ministry and union becomes testimony. Beloved soul, as you breathe in this moment, heaven is drawing you closer to a truth that your heart already senses, that this connection was never just about romance, but about rebirth. The angels say this younger soul was chosen to awaken the parts of you that had gone silent beneath the weight of years and tears. They were sent to remind you that love, in its purest form, is the language of heaven itself, and now heaven wants you to see that this connection is not only transforming you, but also transforming them. Both of your lives are being rewritten by the same gentle hand of the divine. For every conversation that stirs something sacred, every look that feels like prayer, every silence that holds peace, these are holy encounters. They are moments when heaven steps down into human experience and says, "This is what love was meant to be." The angels are smiling now, for they see two souls learning how to walk in alignment with divine love, not love that clings out of fear, but love that gives freely. Not love that demands to be understood, but love that understands. Not love that needs to possess, but love that chooses to bless. You, beloved, are being refined into a vessel of God's tenderness. You are learning how to nurture without controlling, how to protect without suffocating, how to guide without pride. And this younger soul is being refined too. They are learning how to trust depth, how to honor wisdom, how to walk in love that carries responsibility and reverence. Heaven is using both of you to mirror divine balance, grace and strength, innocence and wisdom, youth and maturity, spirit and flesh. Each one of you holds what the other needs to grow, and in this beautiful exchange, a sacred alchemy is happening. God is blending two journeys into one symphony of divine timing. Each lesson, each joy, each moment of uncertainty is shaping both hearts into instruments of love that reflect Him. It is written, "We love because He first loved us." 1 John 4:19, NIV. And that is what this connection truly is, a divine reflection of God's first love. A reminder that before you were ever capable of loving another, you were already fully loved by your Creator. Beloved, the angels are saying that the time of confusion is ending. The time of clarity is beginning. You no longer need to question why this love feels different, because you now understand that heaven never repeats lessons. It completes them. Every love before this one taught you what love is not, so that when this soul appeared, you would recognize what love truly is. Not the noise of excitement, but the peace of presence. Not the rush of emotion, but the stillness of truth. Not the fear of losing, but the joy of surrendering. This younger soul carries within them the echo of heaven's laughter. Their spirit reminds you that love should not always be heavy. Sometimes it should simply breathe. And through them, you are learning to rest in love instead of striving for it. The angels whisper, "This connection is a bridge, not just between two hearts, but between heaven and earth, because through your bond, others will learn what divine love looks like when lived out. They will see patience instead of pressure, understanding instead of control, forgiveness instead of pride. Your story, beloved, is becoming a living testimony, and whether your journey with this soul continues through years or seasons, it will forever bear fruit in both lives. Because love that is sent by heaven never ends where it began. It multiplies. It spreads peace to every heart that witnesses it. You are now being prepared for your divine destiny together. This is where your connection becomes ministry, not necessarily in churches or pulpits, but through the quiet example of how you love each other with grace. When people see the peace between you, they will feel God's presence. When they see your gentleness, they will feel heaven's warmth, and that, beloved, is your divine purpose, to love so purely that others find their way back to God through your example. It is written, "Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." Matthew 5:16 NIV. That light is love. That light is you. That light is what heaven is kindling through this sacred bond. The angels say you are entering a season of partnership with purpose. This is not just about emotions, it is about evolution. The two of you are meant to grow spiritually together, to help each other rise above old wounds, to build something grounded in faith. They will learn from your steadiness, and you will learn from their faith. They will see God's wisdom through your patience, and you will see God's joy through their hope. Together, you will reflect the full nature of divine love, strong yet gentle, ancient yet new, earthly yet eternal. And if fear ever tries to whisper that this cannot last, remember what the angels have already told you. What God ordains cannot be undone by doubt. Your only task is to stay aligned with heaven, to keep loving with purity, to keep surrendering control, to keep letting God perfect the story in His time. Because in truth, beloved, the story isn't really about you and them. It's about God through both of you. It's about how divine love enters two human hearts and teaches them how to beat in rhythm with heaven's heart. And as you continue walking this journey, you will begin to notice miracles unfolding quietly, synchronicities, confirmations, dreams, moments that feel too precise to be coincidence. These are heaven's way of saying, "Yes, my child, you are on the right path." The angels are near you now, surrounding you in golden light, their wings brushing your spirit with peace. They are smiling as they whisper, "You are loved beyond measure, guided beyond confusion, and chosen beyond fear." So breathe deeply, beloved. Let this love teach you, let it heal you, let it remind you that no matter how the journey unfolds, you are walking in divine grace. And when you look into the eyes of this younger soul again, remember, you are looking into a reflection of God's love. For it is written, "God is love, and whoever abides in love abides in God, and God abides in them." 1 John 4:16 ESV. This is your confirmation. This is your peace. This is your divine truth. If this message has touched your heart, pause now and whisper a quiet thank you to heaven. Share this word with someone who is learning to trust love again. And if you feel called, your prayerful support or super thanks helps keep these sacred messages alive, spreading light to every soul who needs to be reminded that love, when heaven sends it, is never by chance. Rest now, precious soul. The angels are watching over you, and your story of divine love is only just beginning. Beloved heart, heaven is whispering again, for the angels see how your spirit is shifting, how this connection, this younger soul, is reshaping the way you understand love, and even more the way you understand God. You see, love is not simply an emotion between two hearts. It is a reflection of heaven's own heartbeat. It is God expressing Himself through two souls who are willing to love purely. And in this sacred connection, heaven is doing something miraculous. He is using love to teach you about eternity. The angels say, you once believed love was something you found, but heaven is showing you that love is something you become. Every act of patience, every gentle word, every moment you choose understanding over reaction, these are sacred steps in becoming love itself. And that, beloved, is what this divine connection is awakening in you. Through this younger soul, you are remembering what it means to live with an open heart again. You are remembering that love does not have to hurt to be real, that tenderness does not mean weakness, that being seen does not mean being exposed, it means being accepted. Heaven wants you to know that what you feel is not foolishness, it is faith. It is the faith of your inner child who still believes in miracles, still believes that God can send love wrapped in unexpected form. And the angels rejoice because your faith is becoming sight. You are seeing now how the divine arranges meetings not by accident but by alignment. How two souls, separated by age, distance, or circumstance, can still meet in the perfect timing of God. Because when love is divine, it is not limited by logic. It moves with the flow of the Holy Spirit, carrying two hearts into the place where purpose meets grace. Beloved, this younger soul did not enter your life to make you question your worth, but to remind you of it. Their affection is heaven's. Reflection, a reminder that you are still radiant, still chosen, still capable of inspiring love that is real. For it is written, "You are altogether beautiful, my darling, there is no flaw in you." Song of Solomon 4:7 NIV. The angels want you to receive that truth deeply. For too long you have believed that time, age, or failure have dimmed your beauty. But heaven says, "No, my child, your beauty has ripened in wisdom. Your spirit now shines with the light of experience, and that is what drew this soul toward you. They see your spirit, they feel your calm. They are drawn to your strength, your compassion, your peace, and through you they are learning what love looks like when it comes from God. Heaven has paired you not to compete, but to complete, not to compare, but to complement. Your bond is not built on the things of the world, but on the language of the Spirit, a language that says, "I see you, I honor you, I thank God for you." And even in moments of doubt, when you question if this connection can last, the angels say, "Be still and know that God is in the center of it." Psalm 46:10 NIV. If He authored it, He will sustain it. If He began it, He will perfect it. You are not walking this journey alone. Even now, heaven is arranging circumstances, softening hearts, clearing obstacles, and teaching both of you how to meet each other in divine maturity. For the goal is not perfection, it is progress. It is two souls, slowly learning to love in the likeness of Christ. The angels say this is holy ground. Treat it gently, pray over it often, speak blessings over their name, even when apart. For your words carry creative power, and your prayers weave protection around what heaven has joined. It is written, "Therefore what God has joined together, let no one separate." Mark 10:9 NIV. And though your connection may look unconventional to others, remember, heaven sees not as man sees. Man looks at the outward appearance, but God looks at the heart. 1 Samuel 16:7. And in the heart, beloved, God sees alignment. He sees divine order. He sees two souls crossing paths at the perfect intersection of healing and destiny. You are being prepared for something deeper now, a phase of spiritual maturity where love becomes prayer and affection becomes worship. When you love this soul, you are loving what God has placed before you. When you forgive them, you mirror Christ's mercy. When you protect their heart, you are walking in divine stewardship. The angels whisper that this connection is not only a gift, it is a responsibility. For God does not give you someone to adore. He gives you someone to honor, someone to pray for, to guide with gentleness, to hold with reverence, and in return they are learning from you. Your patience is teaching them trust. Your kindness is teaching them confidence. Your wisdom is teaching them what real love looks like when it's rooted in faith. Together, you are fulfilling heaven's plan to show the world that love can be pure, that love can be holy, that love can cross generations without losing reverence. Beloved, the angels want you to release every fear that whispers you are too different, because where your differences begin, divine balance begins, and balance is the rhythm of heaven. This is why, when you are near each other, peace flows, time slows, the world fades, and something eternal rises within you both. That is not fantasy. That is spirit. That is the breath of God moving through two willing vessels. The angels say, let go of what you think love should look like, so you can receive what divine love truly is. Because this love, pure, humble, graceful, is meant to lead both of you closer to God. It is written, perfect love drives out fear. 1 John 4:18 NIV. So let that be your prayer today, that love would drive out every fear within you. Fear of loss, fear of opinion, fear of the unknown. For where fear ends, faith begins, and where faith begins, miracles flow. The angels are smiling now, for they see your heart softening even more. They see heaven's light growing between you and this younger soul. What began as a mysterious connection is becoming a holy covenant, a bond sealed by divine timing and nurtured through obedience. If this message finds you in reflection, pause and whisper, thank you, Lord, for teaching me through love. If your spirit feels peace, it means heaven is confirming this word within you. Share this message with someone who is learning to trust God's unusual ways of sending love. Let them know, sometimes the person God sends doesn't fit expectation, but they fit purpose. And if you feel led, your gentle support and prayers, your super thanks, help these angelic messages continue flowing like rivers of peace to every weary soul seeking divine reassurance. Rest now, beloved one, for part 5 will open the next revelation, where the angels will show how this divine love is not just for the present, but a preparation for the legacy of light your souls are meant to leave behind. And now the angels speak softly again, saying, beloved one, you have begun to understand that love is not about the years you have lived, but about the eternity that lives within your heart. For time does not measure the spirit, and wisdom is not always carried by age. Sometimes it is carried by the innocence of a heart untouched by bitterness, a soul that has not yet learned fear, and that is why heaven sent you a younger soul. You thought they came into your life for you to guide, but in truth they came to guide you too, to remind you of what you once knew before the world made you doubt, before pain taught you to build walls, before you began to measure love by logic instead of light. Their presence was not accidental. It was orchestration, a divine appointment written before either of you breathed your first breath, for God knew the day would come when your soul would need to remember joy, pure, fearless, childlike joy, the kind that dances without reason and loves without calculation. As Jesus said, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Matthew 18:3 NIV. Do you see now why heaven chose someone younger to touch your heart? Because they carry the key to that doorway. The heart that still believes, still hopes, still forgives easily, still laughs freely. Their light was not meant to outshine yours, but to reignite it, to awaken the part of you that once believed love was simple and good, to remind you that faith and trust are not weaknesses, but holy strengths. As new songs, but all carrying traces of the light that began here. The angels want you to know that the love you now carry is different. It is wiser, calmer, deeper. It no longer grasps, it blesses. You have stepped into the divine rhythm of unconditional love, the love that asks for nothing but gives everything, the love that mirrors God's own nature. As it is written, we love because He first loved us. 1 John 4:19 NIV. And now you will love others from that place, from fullness, not emptiness, from faith, not fear, from spirit, not scarcity. Your heart, once heavy with confusion, is now a vessel of understanding. The younger soul taught you to see the world with wonder again, to dance with the unknown, to trust the unseen, and to believe that even divine lessons can wear a human face. Now, beloved one, heaven says, go forward with peace. You have completed a sacred cycle of the soul, from waiting to awakening, from questioning to clarity, from seeking love to becoming love itself. The angels bless you with calm. They cover your path with light. They remind you that every encounter has divine meaning. And every love story, no matter how brief, leaves traces of eternity. So breathe now, let the tears that fall be holy. Let the gratitude rise like incense before God, and whisper within yourself, I have learned what love truly means, and heaven will smile, for that was the purpose all along. If this divine message has touched your soul, share it with someone who may be walking through a love that defies logic, but carries grace. Someone who needs to remember that age, distance, or difference do not limit God's miracles. Your kind support, prayers, and sharing help these messages of light reach other hearts seeking peace. May you continue to grow in faith, to walk in grace, and to love in truth, for heaven walks beside you always.